This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian. Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the top 250 movies of all time list according to IMDb. You can go to our website, mission250filmcast.com, where we have our list frozen and all the other episodes are there too, and the new episodes are coming up and all that good stuff. I'm one of your hosts, Denny, and joining me are...
Good talk. You can't make me talk. All right.
Wait for it.
I'm John.
And I'm TC.
And TC, would you want to describe what we do on this podcast?
I mean, not particularly.
John, would you want to?
But all right. So a year and a half ago, and some plus or minus some months, we
years.
froze or years. Yeah, exactly. We froze the top 250 list on IMDb.com. It's the top 250 movies of all time rated by IMDb users, which, you know, as always, I have a bone to pick with those users. But yeah, so we froze the list. So we're going back from 250 down to 1, which means they'll hopefully get better. Yeah, we sit around, we bitch and moan, you know, we talk. Sometimes we have good things to say. Sometimes we sound like dummies. And, you know, that's about it.
Yeah. And
Fair enough.
This week, we're watching number 153. Guys, we're only like 3 episodes away from 100 episodes, which is pretty crazy.
Oh, no, I have not done my homework.
Oh, I haven't either. Me either.
That's fine. You got like a month, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Just throw a dart at the paper. I'll print it out.
That's fine.
Boom, boom, boom.
But this week, we're watching The Deer Hunter, which was made in 1978, directed by Michael Cimino. An in-depth examination of the ways in which the U.S.-Vietnam War impacts... I can't speak today. Impacts and disrupts the lives of people in a small industrial town in Pennsylvania.
And maybe we should farm out who says the synopsis once in a while too, Denny. I mean,
and also it's unfortunate because it's my turn to review this movie first this week. So send me some more shitty talking by me over here.
All right.
Yeah.
Shitty talk.
Denny, what'd you think?
I don't know, guys. What the hell?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This movie is simultaneously the most boring movie I've ever seen and one of the most horrific movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it kind of like...
Bored and horrified, huh?
That's a good way to describe it, because, I'll let you keep going.
I don't know. Like I think I know what they're trying to get with the first hour and a half of this movie, but I think it doesn't work. I think I do. But I don't think it works.
Are you sure?
I am sure, because I've heard it multiple, like the director and the screenwriters and the cinematographer all agree. And all the critics who like this movie a lot all agree as well that the beginning portion of this film is supposed to make you feel like you live in the town with these people and that you know these people.
Yep.
I did not feel that at all.
No.
At all. I think even like the intro to this movie is the length of a different movie, and other movies make me feel like I know characters a lot more than this movie does. I feel like I don't know them at all. They run around town, they get drunk, they hump cars, they drink beer. There's so much fucking beer drinking. I really want Rolling Rock all the time now. That's like the one.
Since when is that a damn good beer?
I know. I guess that's supposed to be part of why they're rednecks or something.
No, that's the plug for the movie, right?
Yeah.
That's all I thought. I was like, they plugged this.
Yeah, definitely. But they're just like dumping beer on each other the entire time. I'm like, wow, they have enough money just to waste beer. That's kind of nice. The wedding scene lasts for a half an hour. I don't know.
That was a long one.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And then it's hard to say that I like the rest of it, because the first hour and I think it's an hour and 9 minutes is when it does the hard cut from like them being sad, listening to the piano music in the bar to Vietnam.
Yeah. Yep. To Vietnam. Yep. And I feel like I was like, so was this intro part or act 1 just there to be like the juxtaposition to that scene where they're stuck and they're prisoners? Like, was that the whole point? Because that's all I thought. I was like, the whole point of that was just so that we would feel like, who cares about these guys? And then it's like, boom. Oh my God. They're in a what now? They're doing what now?
They're in a water prison. Oh no.
They're like a water. What the hell are they doing? I mean, yeah.
And I mean, so there's all that boring stuff. And like the middle part it's still really slow, but at least it's like really tense and really scary. So at least that's more exciting, kind of. Even this movie's not pleasant.
It did do a good job. I mean, it made me very anxious.
Yeah,
like the small quarters, like the guy like in the little what did they call it? The cage in the water there? That was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's nothing but that you could have done without like 3/4 of that beginning part.
Yeah.
Like, see them go get drunk once, move to Vietnam.
Yeah. Move there. It's nice.
Well, in the story, I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was rather abrupt. Given how slowly everything else proceeded up to that point, I was expecting a long bus ride, a farewell at the airport, so it was sort of
like everything drawn out further than it needed to be.
I was like, well, there they are. Okay.
Getting pulled to the side by TSA, getting some extra check going on.
Yeah, I don't know. And not that it existed then, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And then there's all this other stuff reading about it, how there was no single case of Russian roulette in Vietnam at all. So all that stuff is
I was wondering about that. I was wondering about that. I was like, did this actually happen in Vietnam?
It did not. But at the same time, you could look at it as a really good metaphor for war itself, which it is, I think, where it's just like completely random shit. Like whether or not you die is like completely random in war. And you don't deserve it. Like it's you versus the other person. Neither, like it's just complete random violence made by a person who doesn't have any good motives.
Right.
What is it, like 5 people in that cabin exchanging money with each other? How are they getting more money? It's only 5 people in there. It's like they're just trading money around and watching people shoot themselves in the head.
Right.
I don't really understand that at all.
You don't crowd around somebody when they're going to shoot themselves in the head either. That's not good. You got to get there's got to be a lot of innocent bystanders that's like standing on the other side.
I feel like the bullet would go through.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that bandana's, unless maybe there's like a metal plate there on the one side. I don't know.
Don't you see like blood coming out of the sides of their head when they get shot?
Well, the side that they get shot, not the opposite side.
Not the other one?
Though.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't
Does
that's
blood fly out of your head like that when you shoot it on that side?
Your head is just a balloon full of blood. You didn't know that?
But does it squirt out
it's just
like
ready
that?
to come out, man.
Like,
it
where
is.
it's like a sprinkler
to come out.
It's a sprinkler.
Hey, you ever
just blood.
You scratch your head, there's a lot of blood there if you get a cut on
Yeah,
your
but
head.
like, gravity takes course and you just like runs down the side of your face.
I have no idea. I don't want to know.
Get a hole punch,
point.
dude. Punch a hole in your head. See how much blood comes out.
See what happens.
No.
Report back to us next week.
Try. It's hard with the hole punch because you got to get one on either side. I don't know. Maybe you go to I don't know how you're going to do that.
No, what you want to do is you
got
got to pinch a little piece of thin skin and then punch a hole through that.
You get a boring drill is what you do.
That sounds almost as boring as this movie. High five.
Oh, good one.
Ooh,
I see what you did
there.
Sorry, guys. I apologize.
I mean, it was boring. It did not have to be 3 hours.
No.
Each part of the movie was an hour long for no reason.
It's like the original screening was over 5 hours.
Yeah.
Like his original, hey guys,
they
what
never
do you think?
screened that version apparently.
No, but they didn't screen it. They like showed it to the execs, right, or something. So I would like to. May I inject a bit of positivity?
Yes, please.
Yes. So I actually kind of got some of the camaraderie. I actually thought that the sequence, the wedding played out so long that I sort of felt like I was there and bored. Like you're
at a regular wedding.
Yeah. So it played out so long that I sort of felt like that. I like watching all of these guys. They all were interesting actors. I know that the scenes were pretty slow moving, and some of them were a little weird. The piano thing was a little strange. Like, oh, they're sensitive guys. Look, this one's sensitive, and this one's sensitive.
I'm surprised they weren't like, dude, stop playing that. You're making us all sad. We were just partying. Play something upbeat.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things he's playing before the last time. They all, I don't know.
But Walken's fascinating to watch, and De Niro's great. I mean, I sort of I liked the camaraderie part. I thought it was pretty damn hilarious when they left the one guy on the side of the road and then drove off again.
Oh my God, I couldn't stand that scene.
Oh, you thought that was? Oh, I thought it was great.
Dude, it was so long. Like I got the
funny.
idea 30 seconds in, and then it was like a 4-minute long scene.
Yeah, I know. I just sat there and vegged out with it and was okay. I was in the mood that it was okay for me to just sit there. I guess it's not a film to watch if you're feeling a little impatient, I guess. But for some reason, I was like really tired but not sleepy, so it worked. Maybe
you need the right cocktail.
Dude,
tired.
Denny, what happened was he fell asleep like a lot during this movie.
Oh,
and since it didn't matter, every time he woke back up, he was right into the story again. No
That's
problem.
entirely possible. But I do like these actors. So I did like that part. I could see, like you say, I saw what they're going there. I don't know if it needed to be nearly as long. Like you could have still established things better without the duration.
Right.
I think you could have established
but-
things better with more direction for the characters. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
you could tell that they were just improving the entire time. 'Cause
Right.
Oh, is
they
that
weren't-
what they were doing?
Yeah. Because they don't do anything of consequence at all in the first hour and the last hour. They just like, dude, they're just running around, throwing beer at each
That's
other,
right. I
humping
mean, I was
cars.
saying-
Screaming and yelling.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't quite. I mean, John Cazale, you get a kind of a sense of his character. It's not entirely clear, though. You're right. I think it's fair. It doesn't seem necessarily fleshed out, like who these guys are or what their relationships mean in some ways.
And like, why do they attack the Green Beret? Why does Meryl Streep, like, does she love Christopher Walken's character or does she love Robert De Niro? What
I
the
think
hell's
she
going on
loves
there?
De Niro, right? I mean,
Right.
Well, she at least like she wants to sleep with him after what's his name goes AWOL. I mean her character didn't make sense to me in terms of why she was there.
wrote. I guess she wrote most of her own lines too.
Really?
And yeah, I think I remember reading that.
Kind of a free for all is this guy
I
directing
mean,
here?
that's literally like, all right, guys, go nuts, just do it. We got
Yeah.
plenty of money. We're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, her part was kind of a bit part initially, but I think because of the way she improvised her lines. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it still like the acting was good, and when you sit and pick it apart,
Sometimes,
it's like, yeah,
right?
yeah. I thought some of the tense scenes were especially well done, even though it's just completely. Again, you can go with the whole metaphor thing for the Russian roulette, but once you start thinking about it realistically, it's kind of gets really annoying.
Yeah.
It's like,
Why would the guy let him put 3 bullets in? What's the motivation there? The only
Right.
option is he wants to shoot everybody with it.
Yeah, now the
That's-
weird thing,
yeah.
right? Like, yeah, it seems like a bad idea to give your prisoners a loaded gun under any circumstances, no matter
Yeah,
how
but
it's
one
going to
bullet,
work out,
at least
right?
he can only kill one guy before someone else
Right.
shoots him. But he gave more bullets. What the fuck are you doing?
Right. And why didn't so when they do that sequence, why did De Niro wait until after it clicked the first time? Like, because it had to click
Put an
twice.
empty chamber in that gun. Put an empty chamber in that gun.
So he had to see it. The only way it would work is if it clicked twice, because then
So
he
then
knew
all
he
3
would-
bullets were in the
He
in
knew
line.
he had 3 bullets.
But wouldn't
lined
you
up.
be able to just be like, push someone out of the way, click, click, boom, 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 right?
Click, click, click,
Yeah,
click,
yeah.
boom, click, 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 boom, boom.
Yeah. I mean, why
That would
risk
probably
it?
work too.
Because
But-
those things are hard to pull, right? And they all have like automatic machine guns pointed at their heads.
Right.
At the same time, they're playing a very dangerous game of odds,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Right.
he pulls one, he pulls one. I don't know what the odds of that. I mean, it's 50-50 the first time, right? But then you have more odds the second time.
I have no idea how that works. I don't do maths.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not having a fun time.
Yeah.
That's all I know. I was very uncomfortable on all those scenes.
Yeah, and the idea that anybody can make any kind of a career for very long doing that, it's like, no, you're not going to last there. There's not going to be
Well,
anybody who's good
that
at this.
bothered
Right.
me at the end. That
Yeah.
bothered me at the end too. Like he went back like months later, and they're still playing the same game,
Right.
and they're not
Yeah,
like the guy's still like, come on,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Like winning once is a pretty, that's lucky. Don't play again. He's playing for months, sending money intermittently. Like,
Yeah.
what are the odds of playing 10 times against somebody? It's not like he's good at it. There's no way
There's
to be
nothing
good
to be
at
good at. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I mean, it is kind of stupid. And I mean, I knew when he was like, "Just don't leave me over there, man," or like, don't
You're
leave
like,
me.
oh,
right?
yeah.
Like I
I
knew
love
that.
it
I'm
here.
like, all right, here we go. He's gonna be
He's,
left.
he's gonna die. and
One of
they're gonna
these
bring him back,
guys
and
are
that's the
being
end of the
left
movie.
behind. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I
Is
thought
Christopher
some
Walken's
of-
head also made of blood? Let's find out. Yes,
Hey.
yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I like some of the scenery. Thought some of the cinematography was good. while deer hunting and driving, I thought there were some nice scenic views there.
Is that how you hunt deer? You just run after a deer with a gun?
I don't know.
I feel like that's not
don't
how you
think
do
so.
it
No, most people just like set up camp.
because it would make
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
You're really running after a deer like that, and you're close.
Yeah.
Like you're that close. He was like 60 feet away from him at one point. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first shot one was pretty frightening. I had to look up
Oh,
that it
yeah.
was tranquilized
Yeah.
because it was like
It
it's like
seemed
shot in
tranquilized
the-
because there wasn't any hole with blood coming anywhere.
Yeah, but it still seemed like it was like why as it fell down. It was awful.
It's like, I'm going to chew the air now.
Oh
Yeah.
man. So yeah, I don't know. What do you got more? Do you got more to say, Denny? I could try to. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought, I mean,
What was good? Come on. Let's.
I
see.
thought the
This
scary
is-
parts were very scary. I thought the
They
scene
were.
where
You said that,
they were in,
right.
yeah. When they were like, I don't know, the acting of John Savage, I thought was better than anybody's in the entire movie.
Mhm.
The scene that got me the most was when he's like flipping out, losing his mind underneath the house there.
Yeah. That's
De
the
Niro's
most
like,
uncomfortable
think of something
scene.
else. Think of something else. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is horrible. Like,
I was just thinking to myself the whole time, like, did this actually happen to people? This actually happen to people? Like, this is fucked up. I'm in my bed. Like, I was kind of sick all weekend. I'm like worried about, I'm like, I just don't feel good, and I'm looking at this. I'm like really uncomfortable, really anxious. I'm like in my little room. I'm like too like, conscious of the size, let alone that like little, like in the water with the fucking rats and the whole
barbed
thing.
wire.
Oh man, it was killing me.
And there's just like dudes like, what are the rules in that thing? Like you just randomly, it's your turn. Why is everyone like? It seems like everyone's so calm. I would think everyone would be freaking out because it's like we're all gonna die eventually. The longer we're here, the more chance we have of dying because they're just gonna shoot us all.
Right, and I still don't understand why Chris's character didn't just die outright anyway. Is it a glancing blow to the head? Like everybody else dies. How come he didn't die?
Wait, who?
Or what's his name?
Stevie?
Stevie.
Oh, when he shoots and misses?
He cowered it out. He pointed the gun up towards the ceiling before he fired it.
Oh, did he? I thought he got shot in the head. Which
No. That's why he was like, you beat him, Stevie. You beat him.
But then they threw him into the thing anyway, so he's going to die in that cage.
That would have killed me in that cage. I mean, barely, like, you have to hold on. There's rats. Again, like I said.
And you're just going to get tired eventually and drown.
Okay, see, that's what it is. So that's you go to that cage to die. So I assumed he somehow got shot in the head because I didn't notice that the gun sort of went upside.
No, he kind of chickened out.
Probably because I had my hands over my eyes at that point.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, did you cover your eyes this one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, silly as it was when you think about it, it still was tensely done. And it's just, a frightening thing to watch the way it was done.
Yeah.
Agreed. That was probably the best part of the movie. The only like really like, oh shit part.
Yeah. And I didn't get any attention towards the end because I was confused about like the whole industry of all these people that seem kind of calm. Like they've been doing it for a while. That doesn't make any sense.
Like, it's like chicken fights or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, it's very strange.
And they're like, all right, wear this red bandana. It's our team outfit or whatever, I don't know. And I didn't get when, Robert De Niro kind of starts, like he almost shot Sal in the head. I call him Sal. What the hell's his name? John Cazale.
Right. Yeah.
Like he was going to shoot him in the head. He's playing with him. What is he doing?
Yeah.
Again, I can see him like pointing the gun at him, but letting one round click like he did. That seems,
seems excessive.
So well, and I think you're right. I don't like understand De Niro's character, Mike, at all, really. I mean, I don't understand his calmness and his strength and his just, I don't know. I don't understand his character either.
And then he tells people to pull the trigger. I like, where is that? He's like, they're going to kill you if you don't kill yourself. And you're like, what's better?
That logic doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess you don't want to die in the cage.
Well, why? You're going to live for longer. Maybe you'll be rescued by Robert De Niro.
I don't know what happens. Like, if someone wins while they're prisoners, does that mean they get to go back to regular
Didn't seem like
captivity
it.
for a
Seems
while?
like everyone dies no matter what.
I think you're screwed no matter what. So I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not sure what the hell. I'm not sure why then anybody would just participate at all. It's like, what, do this or you'll kill me, or you'll do this or I get put in the hole to slowly drown to death, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd rather prefer. I think my reaction would be to elongate life as much as possible.
Right. You'd think that you'd still have some hope of rescue, possibly, I guess, if you go in the pit, but I don't know.
I feel like you'd lose all hope by then.
I have no idea. I'll just be like whimpering like a baby and won't do anything. They'll just have to like drag me around to make me, I just won't do anything because I'll be curled up in a little ball crying.
I feel like I'd be more worried about snakes in the water too, like every second.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? What was that? Oh my God, what was that? That'd be my whole, I'd be the annoying guy. They'd be like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, but what was that though? Dude, you didn't feel that on your leg? You didn't feel that on your leg. You tell me you didn't feel that on your leg. You're like, yo, we're about to die right now. I'm like, dude, there's a snake in the water. There's a snake in the water.
Let me up, guys. I'll do it next.
I'll go next. Please, get me out of the water. It's massive of snakes.
I'm in one corner crying and nonstop.
I'm just
TC's
screaming
over the
about
corner,
snakes.
nervous about the vermin. What are you doing, Daddy?
I'd be in the same corner with you. I'd be shoving you out of the corner so I can be further in the corner so you go first.
And then both of you would be just yelling, shut up about the snakes. We're about to get shot in the head. But dude, don't you feel it? What is that? Oh my God.
It's goddamn seaweed, man. Shut up.
No, it's a snake. I know it's a snake. It's a rat and a snake. You're fucking losing it. Yeah.
Right.
But that's like, besides that and the escape part, I was like the only
The chopper part was pretty intense. Apparently, that was real. Like when the chopper got caught, they got the rails of the chopper were caught on the bridge, and the actors were like waving to the chopper, saying, "Hey, that was all real. That was like
Really?
actually happening, and could have killed everybody."
Damn.
What was the narrative during that part, though? It's like, hey, grab onto this and pull yourself up. If not, you're going to fucking break your legs and see you later. We're gone.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, pretty much.
That was confusing. There was a lot of really weird parts of this movie. Like when De Niro goes to the supermarket and that old fat woman who comes, like, is new, just starts like kissing him on the mouth over and over again. Like, is this what small towns are like? Is that what that's supposed to be?
Creepy old lady.
Yeah.
I was like excited at first because I was like, oh, cool. Wow, we're seeing like, because it's a real blue collar movie. Like we're seeing steel workers. They're actually in the steel mill. This is great. I haven't really seen many films that really lately that take this on.
Then it just went nowhere.
And you've got these great actors. So wow, I was all excited, and I think that's what made me want to really like the movie at first, especially with the camaraderie stuff. Because I understand that, right? You understand like hanging out with a group of guys and calling each other names and getting drunk and doing stupid things, and maybe you've got the one guy who's kind of a jerk in the group, but you all sort of put up with him anyway, and all of that stuff.
Who's the jerk in the group?
Oh, well, it was Kazil.
It's
really?
Stan.
Whatever you call him, right?
Who, like, and you can see he was just kind of nervous, and he was worried about himself and whether or not, I think he was just more of a nervous guy as well, and not very confident in some ways. And so he also then was kind of a jerk sometimes, it seemed to me. He punched his wife or girlfriend at the time, like flat out in the wedding. That was a surprise. That sort of livened things up.
That
right
was
there.
weird.
Yeah, I forgot about that until you just mentioned it.
I thought he was going to punch the guy, but no.
And nobody reacted. They were just like, all right, dude, chill, no big deal.
Stands, and then
Don't
she's
worry.
like, you got me right there. And he's like, I'm sorry, baby. So
That's what you get for being a woman.
Yeah,
I guess. I thought he was going to punch the guy. I was shocked when that happened. He just walked up and decked her. And
was that his wife, girlfriend? Who was that to him?
Don't know because I mean he's with some other girl later when Mike comes back.
Yeah.
So I assume it was his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah,
And-
if you want to get me at least into characters, you got to let me know how they relate to each other, right?
Right.
Because in this movie.
Big question: who is Stevie's wife's? The father is. For a while, I thought it might be that Mike was the father of Stevie's wife's kid. Because it's not him. It's not Stevie.
How? How do you know?
So they say that right as he's getting in the car. He said, "I never slept with her." He like whispers to them as he's right as he get. This is
That's
before
what
Robert
that
De
was
Niro-
about. I didn't
This is
catch
before-
that.
Yeah. So he said I never slept with her. So it wasn't his kid. So and that's at that point, Mike, Robert De Niro's character, jumps over the hood and strips naked and runs down the street. Why don't I assumed like, oh, maybe he's the father.
So Mike's just hanging out with all the broads from his friends.
I don't know.
'Cause it seemed like he was taking walk-ins there. He's father of the other one. He's a real stand-up friend, huh?
But was it Stan who was like getting into Michael because he had never slept with any? He tried to set him up with the girls and nothing ever came of it. Ever.
Oh, right.
So he doesn't sleep around, I guess. I just thought
no, not with people that are available with his friends' wives and girlfriends. Yeah.
So I don't know why Mike then decided to go run naked in front of the car. I don't know what prompted that.
Why were they all so worried about it?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they were worried.
It's like, he's naked. Okay, he's going to Vietnam. Sure, get naked, go to Vietnam. Who cares?
Whatever.
He's apparently losing his mind, because he's worried about it.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you're worried about Vietnam.
Hey, what did you think of Axel? I thought he was good.
Axl Rose?
No, Axel, the guy named Axel, the heavy-set guy with the beard that was one of the buddies.
Was he the bartender or the other
funny
guy?
one?
No, he was there was a funny guy, but there was another guy. He was the fucking A guy.
Huh.
He was the guy who would say
He was the guy
A.
who dipped his Twinkie in the mustard?
Yes.
I thought he was pretty good.
I thought he was good. He
was that a
steel
Twinkie?
worker.
I thut that was like a rolled up piece of ham. That was a Twinkie.
No, it was a Twinkie.
No.
Jesus.
One guy dipped a piece of ham, and then Axel dipped its Twinkie in the
Oh,
mustard.
okay.
Yeah. But anyway, Axel was a steel worker that was just there as they were like talking to all these people. Like Robert De Niro went and talked to a bunch of steel workers, and they liked this guy, and they just put him in the film.
Really?
And he was really good.
Wow,
And
one
this is-
acting
this is-
credit.
And this is the only film he's ever done. And nobody knows what happened to him. I couldn't find anything
That's
about
because
him.
he's dipping his fucking Twinkie into the goddamn mustard.
No good will come of that.
We couldn't find him anymore. I don't know what he was doing. He was bathing in mustard. I don't fucking know. We lost him, you know?
Yeah. But I thought he was great. I didn't. I mean, certainly you have people whoever's cousin or whatever shows up in the movie, and you can pretty much tell that they're not really an actor, but he did an amazing job.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well-
I mean, they're all kind of. He might have actually stood out as being better because he wasn't an actor, and all these actors were seemingly kind of trying to pretend like
he
they're
didn't
normal
really
people.
have to do much.
Yeah.
Nobody was reading lines. They're all improv.
That's true.
He's just
And maybe
hanging out with dudes.
Yeah, right, that's true. Kazil, I thought, was good. His backstory is really kind of tragic, too. That he had cancer while he was making this film.
Bone
This is the
cancer,
last
man.
film he did. Him and Meryl Streep were together at the time.
They were going to get married
Yeah, this was the last film he did, and he died right after it was done filming.
before. He died a couple weeks before.
Oh,
Was it
that's too
before?
bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
They front loaded his scenes because they wanted to make sure he didn't get fired by the studio because he was dying.
yeah. Apparently, he didn't want anybody to know because he wouldn't be insured then. And then Robert De Niro stepped in and footed that bill, supposedly.
Oh wow,
So the story
Damn.
goes.
good guy De Niro.
Yeah, but he's an incredibly well respected actor.
He's 100% batting
and-
average.
Yeah.
He was in The Godfather 1 and 2. He was in The Conversation. He was in Dog Day Afternoon in this movie, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's a freaking hell of a list of things.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot he was Sal. In
I got
Dog Day
Sal in
Afternoon,
there.
That was good, Denny.
Thank you.
I like
Yes.
that one.
I've
You
been practicing. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a whole other tragic story that was going on. I don't know what else we got here. I think definitely one thing that's really terrible about the film is portrayal of the North Vietnamese.
Is it? Because it's a very small portion of.
It's a
that.
small portion, so it's just anything you see. So you see, basically, it's just such a caricature. Like you see, the first time you see someone who's North Vietnamese, they're opening up a trapdoor and throwing a grenade into women, a pit full of women and children. And
I
then
couldn't even
mowing
tell
down-
whose side that was on.
Yeah, that was the North. That side. That was the bad guys.
That was the baddies.
Bad
Okay.
guys. Bad guys killing the women and children.
That was gnarly.
That
was gnarly too.
and then he guns down the woman running with the baby. I mean, so it just
Loved the
yeah.
flamethrower answer though. That was
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hey, look,
yeah.
let me just grab this perfectly placed frame thrower?
Frame
thrower
shoots pictures at
Frame
people.
thrower. All right, I guess I'm going to give that one up.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me get a drink of water here, and then I'll burn you. Here, okay.
Flamethrower.
Flamethrower.
Flamethrower. It was perfectly placed though. It seemed to be right where it needed it to be.
In case
And it was
of,
full. No worries.
And easy to use.
Yeah, and apparently very intuitive. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I liked it how the pig also caught on fire. That was really kind of freaky because, you hear the pig
Ah, the
squealing and the
pig.
guy on fire.
Yeah.
Piggy
Not good.
squeal, piggy squeal. Sorry, I just gotta.
Yeah, I don't think he didn't
Flashback.
have this director had a bad track record. Not this film, but the next film he made, Heaven's Gate, which we can talk about because it's fascinating.
Yeah. I
But
was reading about that, too.
it was the reason. One of the things, there was such cruelty to animals in that film, in Heaven's Gate, that's why the American Humane Society started stepping in and putting
Jeez.
and observing films from then on.
Wait, so you think that the
so-
pig actually died in this?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Fuck.
I'm surprised they only tranquilized the deer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, pigs, deers, they probably, had a different worth.
What do they do on the set? They're like, hey, wait. Before you shoot the flamethrower, there's a pig right there. Nah,
Yeah.
fuck it.
True.
Oh my
maybe
God.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he killed the pig. We got bacon, everybody. We got
it smells
bacon.
so
We
good.
got
I feel
bacon.
nauseous.
I don't know whether I should be hungry or just upset. Jesus Christ.
A combination of both. I'm going to go home.
Oh, shit.
All right. Anyway, so wow. But also just the general portrayal of the Vietnamese. Again, it feels
But
comical.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I disagree
I don't
with
think
that.
I know too much about it, even though I probably learned about it for 4 or 5
Right.
years in 4 or 5 years in high school.
Well, so, I mean, you're seeing them as either they're killing, as far as the bad guys go, they're killing women and children, or they're doing this Russian roulette thing, which is just like, it's hard to imagine sane people doing that.
They're in the bad part of bad part of town. That's it.
Bad part of town.
Right. I mean, the other point of it, it's not like it's a big part of the movie. It's not like the movie's seemingly trying to make a statement about it, like we see with Gone with the Wind or something like that, in terms of describing a race of people. It's sort of incidental.
Right. It was just kind of there. Yeah.
But it's still, it's pretty annoying. I don't know. It just seems kind of silly at the end of it. But then again, I guess you're just trying to, if you're going with the Russian roulette thing, you just might as well paint the enemy as the enemy and leave it at that.
Yeah.
Not explore that either. So that's fine. I can see the point. It doesn't really stand out, but it's still, when you think about it, it was also kind of icky.
You got that though? The only feeling I got was like, war sucks, and not like, wow, the Vietnamese were horrible people during the war.
Yeah, it was so incidental. It's just what you see when you see you see the one image. You got two presentations of the enemy soldiers. One is that it's the guy blowing up the men and women, or the women and children in the pit, and then happily, gunning down the woman with her baby, who's running away. And then you've got the
dude. See, I was so confused with that. I thought that was an American soldier.
No.
Huh.
How about the God Bless America singing? I did not know what to make of that at all at the end. I had no idea what to make of that.
Yeah, me either. I was like, is this really, really bad, or am I wrong?
There was a lot of weird shit, like the church shit, the America shit.
I like the church shit though, because it was a real ceremony. I thought that was at least interesting. I got to see, I guess, Russian Orthodox. I don't know what the religion is. But it's like, at least I'm getting to see kind of what this sort of ceremony looks like, because I've never seen anything like
Creepy.
that. What's the deal with holding the crown? That's really interesting. Like you're supposed to wear the crown, but it shouldn't touch your head.
Dude, I want
somebody
that.
else.
I wish I'd watched this movie before I got married.
But
I want the crown.
You
thing.
want the Russian Orthodox wedding?
I want to take the crown thing. I want just the crown thing.
I want the crown. Just take the crown thing.
Yeah. Actually, I also want the thing where you both drink from that little cup at the same time.
Yeah.
That looked like fun.
I don't want that, because I think I'd spill. I was thinking about that when they finished. I'd be like, I wouldn't have got through that.
Yeah.
I'd have shit all over my shirt.
I was expecting a scene later on when Stevie didn't have legs or an arm, and he was just like, it's all your fault because I saw you spill that shit on your dress.
Oh, man. Imagine. That'd be rough.
But they focused on that, so it's like, bad luck. Stevie's going to get fucked.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he was kind of a wimpy dude anyways. He's talking to his mom. They were foreshadowing that all the way through.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wear a scarf. I'm not going to wear the scarf.
It doesn't go with the tuxedo,
Mom. It doesn't go with tuxedo, Mom. I'm going to kick these rocks.
Sorry, John. But even you can't defend the first hour of this movie, right? I mean,
nobody
you kind of did.
I kind of like some of the scenery, some of the cinematography. I like some of the
went on
buddy
too
stuff.
long.
I like the wedding things in terms of realistically portraying a wedding, because it seemed to really do that. So,
during weddings, you just want to go into the corner and fall asleep. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's kind of me.
Yeah.
After I can only handle any kind of event for like a. Same thing with the podcast, damn it. You get over an hour of my time and I start to get
stops
sleepy.
talking. Yeah, he just doesn't talk
That's
anymore.
my favorite time. Is just trying to
John,
see how
it's
long
like, John,
John
are you mad? John, are you mad?
No.
It's not. There's no answer because he's just toned.
It's just like I've got this sort of clock. I should just have a little display on me.
Are we done yet? No, I got 3 pages of commentary, John. Shut the fuck up. Here we go.
Wake me up when it's finished, please.
All right, done.
I want to say good night.
I'll just go over the corner here.
So
anyway.
when he's anxious and he's gonna die, he's in the corner. When he's bored and he's tired, he's in the corner. Learning a lot about you, John.
Generally, that's my sort of curl up and whimper is kind of that's my thing. That's what I do. That's me, babe.
At all times. It doesn't matter. Happy, sad, scared, bored. It's all the same.
How
Put me
I
in the
roll.
corner. That's how I roll in the corner, baby.
Like literally, you could roll me, But anyway.
Shit.
In that wedding scene, whose pictures are on the walls? Do you guys have any idea?
Isn't it Robert De Niro?
Oh.
It looked like De Niro to
It was
me.
hard to
I thought
tell.
this.
I
It was
don't
their
know.
friends. It looked like
Yeah.
their friends, but older or something. I don't know. It was weird.
and for I don't know, maybe, but for like a blue collar
wedding.
kind of wedding,
Yeah.
holy cow, the amount of pomp and ceremony and stuff that went into this wedding.
Did they invite the
mom
entire
didn't even
town?
really agree
It
with.
seemed like there were people that were there that nobody knew.
The town was small, no?
Yeah. But like, how does a guy like that Green Beret shows up and just goes straight to the bar and is drinking and is depressed? who invited him? Nobody knows who he is. How does he get into the wedding?
Are they renting a place that like is used by everybody all the time?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Like the ballroom is theirs, but the bar is like shared space or something.
Right, like, it's like an Elks Lodge
like an
or
event
something.
play.
kind of
Yeah, an
thing,
Elks Lodge. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a good explanation there.
Do you think they glued the cake to the plate? Because those old women, when they were bringing it in, didn't look like they were balancing it too well.
No.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it to topple so bad. I was like, oh, come on. It's not going to fall. I thought for sure that's what they were going for.
Dude, yeah, it was moving. It was wobbling too much. You could kind of tell that there was no cake in there. It was just like cardboard that was frosted or something.
Yeah, I think although the presents were real, supposedly like they had, it was just a bunch of locals that they invited to the wedding and they told them to bring gifts. But they told them to bring things that looked like gifts, but apparently they brought real gifts.
Of course.
What the hell's a thing that looks like a gift?
In the shooting,
just a empty box with a wrapper
ribbon
on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like so it looks like a present, but it didn't have to have anything in it. But apparently, not everybody understood the instructions. So after the filming was done, they were left with all these presents.
The PA's breaking down the boxes like, bro, there's fucking China in here.
Dude, we got
There's
another
like-
blender.
There's like coffee cups and tea cups and shit in here, dude. Like,
How did they get away with that? Instead of paying extras, they got presents from the extras.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a small town for
and
you.
everybody apparently was. I mean,
Yeah.
there was alcohol served on set, so everybody was drunk or drinking.
Hey, my kind of
so
set.
I mean, it did
that
have-
fall between De Niro and
Yeah,
whatever his name is was a mistake, apparently.
yeah, but it looked again.
It was directed too much at the camera for my tastes.
Yeah. Oh, did it seem that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're right in the middle and they're looking at the camera. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, well, I've fallen.
Whoopsie. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Just
don't
being
know.
negative,
I was sort of
sorry.
like, yeah, it's okay. I was sort of like, oh, he fell. I didn't watch it too closely at that point.
I don't even
Just
remember it.
Oh, dude,
So good-
eyes
good
so
to just
glazed
let-
over by that point. Started like 25 minutes into that scene.
Ugh.
When they left, when they were carrying the bride out, I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm outside too. I can feel the air of like the cool night and I'm out of this muggy wedding thing that I don't want to be in. So I guess
See?
yeah.
So
That's
it
not-
That's what I'm
worked.
trying to tell you.
But
It
how is that
worked.
good? Usually movies, you want to be in there, you know? But
I
this one-
know. But it showed you highs and lows of it. And I think at least that's what it was trying for. And
Wouldn't it have
even
worked
trying
more
to-
if you wanted to be at the wedding and didn't want to be at Vietnam rather than not wanting to be at the wedding or in Vietnam? I just didn't want to
I
be
guess
at,
so.
like watching the movie at any point, really.
Well, if I had to choose between the two, I'd go for the wedding. But yeah, I agree. I see your point.
I'm going to add a long pause there for you just so it makes it
Yeah, right. Yeah. Crickets.
Right.
Put some crickets in
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Like, duh.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're saying, Denny. I just want to clarify.
Yes.
Just in case anybody wonders. So anyway, I don't know.
Did you think it was a little bit of a coincidence that all three of the same guys from town were locked up in the same little water cage there?
Yeah.
And then you also think it was a little bit of a coincidence that when Christopher Walken gets pulled into that suicide club, De Niro's in there chilling?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So-
What was that about, by the way? I
It's
was
a tiny
curious.
country.
How
Apparently.
did they not know about one another going to those places? There can't be many of those.
Well, they got
since,
split up in
since
the
it didn't
helicopter
happen
scene.
at all. There can only be one in the
what
fake
was
world.
De Niro doing
right?
there in the first place anyway? I mean,
Yeah,
why
was he making
going
money?
to them?
What was he doing? He's enjoying himself. Is he getting off to
Hey,
this?
you gonna go see the roulette tonight? Yeah, I'm gonna go see the roulette tonight.
Sounds like a deal. I got nothing else to do. You know, no big deal.
You ever seen a roulette game? Dude, I've been in one.
Dude,
So,
I've been there.
That's how
Fucking
cool I am.
badass. It's badass. Got a beer?
Yeah.
Got a beer?
But
I
I think
guess the original screenplay was like it was going to be set in Vegas.
well, it was a
and
book.
It was like
It was based on a
Yeah.
book where it was Russian roulette in Vegas.
yeah, which just seems odd, as if it's like a sporting event there.
Yeah. People kill themselves over this movie. Did you read that?
What?
I saw that there was the Snopes article on it saying that it was true that there was a spike in Russian roulette.
Yeah. And somehow
Really?
they could tell that people were watching this movie. Did they have the VHS tape in the cassette player or something?
I don't get
I
it.
don't know.
Why would they do that?
Good question. I have no idea. That seems pretty stupid to me. Because it's not like they make out like Russian roulette is cool in this movie either,
No.
you know?
I mean, it's not cool. It could never be made out to be cool.
No.
Hey, play this game. You're going to die. It's great.
Was this Russian roulette thing, was that a real thing before this movie came out?
Russian roulette in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
Why? Like who plays it? Why do they play it? What the hell?
Let's find out.
Yeah.
In Tsarist Russia, it was invented supposedly.
Well, did you just say
Before
that Russian
the
roulette was
Second World
invented in
War.
Russia? Is that your trivia?
I'm reading this here. I'm
Okay.
there's
It remained
article-
nameless until it hit America
Yeah.
just before the Second World War.
Why would
So
anyone
when you're
use
in
Russians?
Russia, you wouldn't refer to it as Russian roulette.
No, it's called getting rid of the fucking undesirables. You know what I mean? This guy, we don't
called
like this
find the
guy.
bullet.
Hey, here's a gun. Spin it. Yeah, you do. Fucking pull the trigger. Go for it. You'll do this now. You'll die.
Yeah,
That's
it was a Russian novel where it was first described in 1840 called A Hero of Our Time, and then the first term written down was in 1937 in a short story by George Surdez. I don't know.
Sounds scary.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to be in that predicament.
I don't think I have any more notes. What do you guys think? Sorry for being negative, John. Actually, so this movie I thought, in general, is very unpleasant to watch. I would never, ever watch it again. I was bored as shit. But I think the end did what it wanted to do by the end. I mean, at least that one scene stands out as like one of the most horrible, anxiety-inducing, claustrophobic, miserable scenes I've ever seen.
Sure. So, I mean, again, the film has craft to it, right? I mean, it's got, there was some, I don't know.
Not narratively, though, which is a big problem, I think.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, you've got people that really can act at times when they're focused enough to do so, I guess. But yeah, I don't really mind that I watched it in the end, but I also I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to anybody. And I mean, but if you really like De Niro and Walken, it's still sort of interesting to see them. It's interesting to see Walken anytime, I think, no matter what he's doing. So yeah, it's strange.
Yeah. Do you think that Stevie, the character, should have gotten nominated? Because everyone else in this movie got nominated for an acting award.
Yeah, I thought he did good. I mean, De Niro had his moments too, certainly. I mean, his intensity is pretty amazing. And Walken got nominated, right? Meryl Streep got nominated.
Walken's won.
Oh yeah, he won?
Yeah.
Good old Walken.
Good old Walken. He can do stuff. I got a little bit of commentary stuff, guys. A little bit.
Oh yeah? Commentary from whom?
Commentary by the cinematographer and some historian.
Oh no.
Yeah, buddy. The historian was awkwardly funny. It was bad. I wouldn't recommend listening to it, but the historian was like, oh, you notice how he's talking to the cinematographer. He's like, oh, in these shots, you got the camera angle low. Is that to make the people look like heroes as they will be in the end of the movie? And he's like, no, it's probably because I'm short.
Awesome.
And that's, this guy's like trying to put words into his mouth. And then the cinematographer's like, no, I didn't think about that at all. It's not what I was going for.
That's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
I love it. So here, when we deconstruct this, I think I was high that day.
Yeah.
I mean,
because the camera was heavy and someone had to hold it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of improvisation. The director, Michael Cimino, he did a lot of takes because he liked accidents. He would pretty much do takes until someone made an accident, made an accident.
Oh my gosh.
Did something wrong, and then he put that in the movie.
Was it this one when I was reading they did like 50 takes, or was that Heaven's Gate?
It might have been Heaven's Gate. This one they said 10 to 15.
Okay, he was doing like somewhere on Heaven's Gate there was like 50 takes.
Do you have some stuff on Heaven's Gate quickly after this stuff?
What is Heaven's Gate?
We can talk about that. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just go through these real quick because there's not very many. There were shots in the scenes where they were bombing Vietnam that were documentary footage, which I didn't notice. I assume you guys didn't either from the silence.
No. I mean, yeah, you could see you could definitely see the stock footage.
Oh, you could?
Oh, yeah.
You popped out to
I
you?
noticed it immediately.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I
mean,
thought it was kind of.
No, yeah, this is good.
Those
We're getting to a
scenes-
point where now I can start making fun of the sound too. Because I didn't like the sound.
here we
as
go.
well.
Dude, it won
Yeah.
Best Sound for
Why?
an Oscar. Why? Yeah, I don't know. What didn't you like about the sound, TC?
Well, I mean, in the wedding, the editing was awful. It would cut from weird stereo image, crowd noise to in the room crowd noise back to I don't know. It just kept cutting back and forth. When the guy was talking to someone to move their car, that was the biggest offender of the whole movie. That 5 minutes of audio was I don't know. They must have just had no way to fix it because they must have had these separate takes with much different mic positions, and they had no way of meshing it all together. Because I mean, it took me out of it so bad.
There was this new. This was the use of the one of the first. This is the first film to use Dolby noise reduction.
That I didn't notice the noise reduction so much. It was just mic placement and stereo image that was weird.
So I just wonder if this was a new technique to them, and then it made other things stand out.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there was some bad parts that were just not edited well. I don't even know if it's like bad sound gathering. It was more like just bad editing.
They like took 5 months to mix the soundtrack.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, the soundtrack was decent. I mean, that.
Yeah.
The soft guitar music.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the actual, like, sound we're hearing from what's on screen.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a couple times where people were screaming and it sounded like...
Oh, when that woman was getting carried, it was fucking drilling into my head.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Yeah. It sounded like they were breaking the microphones they were recording on.
I could almost see like the spectrum and just be like, I know exactly where to pull down on this one. Like, someone help me here. This is just ruining my brain right now.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that kind of thing takes you out of the moment. And even if it's not a moment that we really need to watch, it's still like, oof. I don't know.
Yeah.
There were a lot of parts that I definitely was being a nitpick.
Being the audio
sound guy. Yeah. Pain in the ass.
I got to get the Bluetooth headphones. I got to break down and do that because...
Do it.
I know.
They're nice.
Or like, just like a nice, good set.
Yeah. Well, I was like listening through like little... I was playing through the PlayStation for this one because I had to be upstairs to monitor kids. So I was like, had it running through my Apple headphones, the little earbuds.
Oh.
But also it was like connected to the controller, which was like intermittently kind of like laggy with the sound, or just like the sound would kind of cut in and out really fast.
Oh, weird.
So yeah, I have a bad audio
yeah,
setup. So
I was more like,
this.
had my system up. I turned it up a lot. I was watching it like a fucking movie, and it was just
like
killing me sometimes.
Let's see. All the stunts were done by the actors except for the helicopter jumping.
Ooh,
I thought the helicopter jumping was
done by them.
Yeah.
Looked like it.
No,
they did a good job of masking them to look like the actors.
The dude said it was not them. That was the only one.
I could see it breaking your, leg on that jump. That jump looked pretty gnarly.
Especially if there's rocks right under the water.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
John, you must have shut your eyes when they showed the bone.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
Not good.
I was thinking that when I saw it, I was like, oh, John's shutting his eyes on this one. Oh, he's shutting them right now.
It says so on the Wikipedia, and who knows, it said that De Niro and Savage performed their own stunts in the fall into the river, including the 30-foot drop 15 times in 2 days.
Says what, Wikipedia?
Yeah.
That's not what the cinematographer said. He was there.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I guess it's a wash. I mean, let's call that a wash.
So but you should have corrected me too then. Maybe that means that, like, this just says that when the runners caught on the rope bridge as a helicopter, that De Niro and Savage could have been seriously injured.
He didn't mention that at all.
Damn.
Right, so, yeah. Oh, here's a reference for that. Where is that referenced? Playing the Deer Hunter, an interview with John Savage. So that's from an interview with him.
Oh. So so he was there, so he would know.
Yeah.
They did kind of get off topic a lot, or not off topic, but like they would continue talking about one thing, camera related, for like 10 minutes at a time, and you just like they'd skip an entire scene. I'm like, well, great. I wanted to know about that. Apparently, they're still talking about where he puts the camera. All right. That little cabin with the cage thing was a floating house. The entire set was floating because that river gets like. It's on the River Kwai, apparently in Thailand. And it gets a
isn't that a movie too?
Movie in the movie itself,
which we will watch.
We will, and it's based on that river, but it wasn't actually filmed in that river. But that's a separate thing. But so this river apparently has 25-foot swells when it rains in the mountain nearby. So the water level gets 25 feet higher whenever that happens, and it happens pretty frequently. So they had to build a floating set so it didn't get destroyed when that happened.
Damn.
Which is kind of weird. Can you imagine being stuck on the set in that little cage and the water's coming up?
I can't.
Not good.
Hey, someone's going to let me out of here, right? There's snakes in the water. There's snakes in the water. Someone's going to let me out, right?
Come on, all right. It's not funny, guys.
Dude, I smelled something. What was that? Oh, my God, that's a snake.
Dude, there would be real snakes in there. Like, they're in the real river.
Yeah. It's not the snakes you got to worry about, man. It's the leeches. You got to worry about the leeches.
Man.
What about the piranhas?
Leeches. Are there piranhas? Get out of here.
I don't know.
Is piranha?
I'm sure there are.
Jeez.
Hungry fish all over the place.
Jeez. No thanks.
Yeah. I think the last thing I had, just kind of a general thought of what this movie did, is that when people started coming back from the Vietnam War, the soldiers would get protested because all this horrible shit was coming out in the newspapers about what happened over there and like how some of the American soldiers did some pretty horrible things. So the opinion of them was very negative for a while until this movie came out. This movie kind of showed what kind of horrors they experienced and maybe helped them understand why they would do some horrible things, I guess.
Or like, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine what it would be like to over there, but I can imagine that you would lose yourself if you're stuck in that position.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
If you think about that in terms of the impact of that, I mean, because I think the anger towards the soldiers was also just more of the anger against the war to some extent too.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like boiled over.
But
And
apparently
look
newspapers were pointing at the soldiers too.
Well, I mean,
Right,
but look
right,
at what
yeah.
happens all the time here and just in our usual politics. There's all sorts of misinformation too. So
Yeah,
sure.
easily to hate something that you don't even know what's going
Right.
on over there, right? Like you don't even know the situation.
And this like it simplifies it. Again, the idea of the Russian roulette, like you said earlier, Denny, it really like makes a very, very simple idea of what it might be like. And maybe that has a real impact, when you see that, it just sort of like makes it so simple and terrifying that it really has an impact in terms of giving you a sense of what it might be like.
Yeah. Well, Heaven's Gate, John, what do you got for us?
Oh, just so this director seemed to have been kind of tough to work with. Like he sort of would burn his bridges, and even on The Deer Hunter, like there was controversy over who actually wrote the script in the end. So you had a co-writer that they just sort of like worked, supposedly, depending on who you believe. The director was saying that it was just, they worked together and then he just got drunken ramblings from this writer. And then the writer himself said that he actually worked really, really hard on it. And then they just told him to go piss off. And he ended up suing and through the Writers Guild or something, got a settlement for that. And ended up getting screen credit. But it just seems like the director had some difficulty with his relationships and difficulty sort of keeping his own self in check. So his next film then was Heaven's Gate, which is a Western. And he had Chris Christopherson was the lead. He had Christopher Walken again, Jeff Bridges, John Hurt, Mickey Rourke. In his first film, Willem Dafoe.
That's a cast.
That is a hell of a cast.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's just notable for being like one of the biggest box office bombs ever. It like put the studio United Artists at the time basically into bankruptcy. And it also like the idea too is that it sort of heralded the end, at least temporarily to some extent, of having like the director have full control over a budget of a film. So you had these sort of like epic like sort of sagas of filmmaking like Apocalypse Now or whatever, where the directors just kind of went nuts and weren't necessarily constrained by the studio. And this sort of put an end to that as well, at least to that extent.
Wow.
So there are lots of setbacks in the production. When it came out, no one liked it.
Wow.
I want to see it now.
I know, me too.
I know.
I mean, to put it in perspective, right? They said it's the $44 million it cost. It's $110 million as of 2016. That's a lot of money. That'd be like, holy shit, making one of these blockbusters that we see at that rate and having it flop.
Right. Yeah. So when he first showed this is the one where he first showed the cut to the United Artists, and it ran over 5 hours and 25 minutes.
Oh, that's no good.
So they just refused to release a film of that length, and so then they had to cut it down.
Good.
I mean, when you
Take
win
a
in the
stand.
Raspberry Awards, you know you got a real good one there.
Dude, 5.5 hours. Come on. I'm so glad it didn't happen that way. It's apparently like supposed to be good now though. They've recut it or something.
Right. There's like a 2012 cut that came out that actually people have gotten better, have reviewed it better. And again, I think the guy's got, he's got something to some extent. And I guess that, he's certainly able to get these actors to go along with him for, if nothing else. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see. It might be interesting to check that film out.
Yeah.
Bonus episode.
Bonus.
Or not.
Or not. So, John, would you put this in the top 250? The Deer Hunter?
This film is another one that's really well loved. I mean, it certainly had a cultural impact, and I don't want to like say necessarily that it shouldn't be watched, because I think that it's very thought provoking, but it also is very slow. And I would not put it in my top 250.
Whoa.
That's the long answer to that. Yeah. but
That was
I
a
feel little bad
long,
about
drawn out no, if I've ever heard
I know
one.
it was
Appropriate for the movie.
It was.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't. The movie deserves more than a flat no. I think maybe in my
Does
mind anyway.
it?
That's why I rambled.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It deserves more than a flat no. So I'm going to give it these extra words right here and then say no.
Okay.
You see?
No.
Draw it out. Draw it out.
Well, no.
Timmy, come on, Timmy.
Oh, go fuck yourself, John.
We're going to have a lot of curse words next week, guys. We're going to watch
Are
The
we?
Big Lebowski.
Hey, the dude.
Yay.
The dude. I think this movie has like
Alright.
one of the highest concentrations of the word fuck in any movie.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's like this and Goodfellas and Casino are like the highest.
Wow. Those are good stats. It's good data
Yeah.
to have.
Some good data.
Metrics.
I'm surprised. Yeah, and thinking about it, I don't think of The Big Lebowski as curse heavy.
Oh, just you
So,
pay.
yeah.
It's like
Just-
half of the words.
It's
Yeah.
like
now-
your
now I'll pay
opinion,
attention.
man.
Yeah.
You know?
Get ready
That's
for
right.
some bad impersonations next week,
Oh, I
guys.
can't wait.
No,
It's going to
no,
be
no,
great.
no.
It's going
We
to
got Sean
be
coming on.
fantastic. Hey, the
Oh,
Haas.
right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be good. Sweet.
Yeah. All right. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Cool.
Cool.
So let's do that, and then I'll talk to you guys next week.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Take care, guys.
Top